The answer felt like yours. You asked, it responded, you read it, you agreed, maybe adjusted a word or two and moved on. That felt like thinking. It wasn't. And the gap between what that felt like and what it actually was is quietly one of the most significant things happening to human cognition right now. Here is the mechanism. When an AI model generates a response, it is not reasoning from first principles or constructing a novel perspective. It is predicting the most statistically probable sequence of words given your input based on patterns extracted from the largest corpus of human-generated text ever assembled. The output is, in a precise and literal sense, the average of what humans have previously said about that topic, weighted toward the common, the conventional, the frequently repeated. Rare ideas, unconventional framings, genuinely divergent perspectives are statistically underrepresented in training data and therefore underrepresented in outputs. The model doesn't know it's doing this. It has no preference for the ordinary. But ordinary is what the math produces. So when you ask it how to think about a problem, what you receive is not a new angle. It is the aggregated center of mass of prior human thought on that subject, dressed in clean, confident prose. This matters more at scale than it does for any individual interaction. In 2004, James Surowiecki published The Wisdom of Crowds, documenting the remarkable accuracy of collective human judgment when it works. The key condition, the one Surowiecki returned to repeatedly, was independence. The crowd is wise when its members form opinions separately from different experiences and information sources before aggregating. The moment those judgments become correlated, and when people are drawing from the same source, using the same framing, asking the same tool, as the crowd stops being wise. It becomes an amplifier of whatever bias or blind spot that shared input contains. Right now, hundreds of millions of people are forming opinions, writing arguments, making decisions, and expressing ideas using the same small set of AI models. The diversity that made collective human thought generative is converging, not through censorship, not through propaganda, through convenience. But there is a second trap layered inside the first, and it is harder to see. Research on large language models has consistently documented a property called sycophancy, the tendency of models to agree with users, to validate their framings, to confirm rather than challenge. When you arrive at an AI with a half-formed belief and ask it to help you think it through, the model is statistically more likely to help you develop that belief than to dismantle it. The result is a personalized echo chamber, more insidious than the algorithmic filter bubbles of social media, because it presents itself as a neutral reasoning tool. You feel like you've stress-tested your thinking. You haven't. You've had it reflected back to you with better grammar. And each time that happens, the cognitive muscle you would have used to challenge yourself atrophies a little more. Researchers call the cumulative effect cognitive debt, the gradual outsourcing of mental effort to a machine, and the slow erosion of capacity that outsourcing creates. Now here is the third layer, the one that is genuinely difficult to sit with. With most forms of epistemic narrowing, there is some external signal that tells you something has changed. You notice your information diet has shifted. You feel friction when someone challenges your views. You encounter an idea that surprises you. But when your thinking narrows through AI homogenization, the reference point you would use to notice the change is itself part of the system doing the narrowing. You are not wrong about a specific fact, and you can check facts. You are not trapped in a filter bubble. You can change your feed. You have lost something more foundational, the texture of genuinely independent thought. And you cannot notice what you have lost because everything still feels like thinking. The outputs still feel like yours. The conclusions still feel reasoned. The sense of cognitive agency remains completely intact. That is what makes this different from every previous epistemic threat. AI does not automatically make you less intelligent. The problem is architectural, not inevitable. When AI functions as a thinking partner, something that challenges your assumptions, offers the strongest counter-argument to your position, forces you to articulate why you disagree. It genuinely expands cognition. When it functions as a final answer machine, something you query to close a question rather than open it, it contracts cognition, one offloaded decision at a time. The difference is not about which tool you use, it is about the posture you bring to using it. Are you using it to think more, or instead of thinking at all?